energy is like one of the top things guys tell me they're struggling with. And actually, you can create crazy energy levels without needing coffee. I know it's ironic me talking about this while I'm having a cup of coffee. All I made with this mug. I absolutely fucking love it. I think it's so fucking cool. And it's brown on the inside, which I like because it matches the coffee. I love everything about it. And at the bottom it says Daddy, which I won't show you because I'll be covered in coffee. It's a great mug. I know it's ironic me talking about this. And I'm not saying things like coffees are bad. I'm not saying that afternoon naps are bad if you need one. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a white monster when you're fired up as fuck about to hit a big leg day. Of course you can. But these are all just small tools to sharpen, and you know you're always going to crash after. Like caffeine, things like this always elevate you. They come with a drop off every single fucking time. And if you're smart enough to manage that, then it's fine. But most guys find themselves relying on it. They wake up in the morning, they need a coffee straight away, and they never really want to feel like they don't have a coffee in them for the whole fucking day, right? If they're really busy, if they've got like 3 hours blocked off for, say, they're tradesmen, builders, carpet fitters, carpenters, and they're just like locked onto a job that they can't really move away from for a few hours, or like tiling, usually they can go without, right? But as soon as a break comes, get a fucking coffee on. If you're in an office, it's even fucking harder, right? If you run an office and you've got employees and you just finish a meeting, have a coffee. It's automated. You never really want to have that feeling where you're not caffeinated, especially after 2 o'clock when you hit that crazy slump and you either need sugar or coffee. So most guys don't manage that massive sky high, exciting, energetic bump you get, which you don't actually feel anymore because you just fucking relied on sugar and coffee and energy drinks for too long. But if you don't manage that plummet, you just push it, and then you just fucking crash at the end of the day. You still got caffeine in your systems, you have a terrible night's sleep, you wake up in the morning groggy, and you fucking rely on coffee again. There's a way to create wild levels of internal energy, right? So you just feel energetic as fuck all the fucking time, non-stop. It's one of the things people say about me, they're like, how do you always have so much energy? And it's management, right? Two things, and we're going to cover both of them. Two things that will give you massive internal energy, right? And this is something that I thought about when I was thinking about patrolling Afghanistan. I was actually talking to a friend a little while ago, and we are talking about ops we were on that were called draw and destroy ops, right? Which is essentially when you're bait. So you go out on a patrol, your task is to get contacted by the enemy, right? So you'd be patrolling through it. When we was on draw and destroy ops, we was in the green zone, right? So loads of farmland, like loads of high points, like very mountainous, and we would go out to try and get contact. And when we get contacted, that means eyes in the sky can see the location of these Taliban strongholds. They didn't jump in and rescue us, right? They didn't send anyone in. We started to fight our way out, but they knew our location, they knew their location, so success, and then we'd engage. We might fight through, we might just engage and peel out. It obviously tactical depends on what's happening on the ground, but that was our fucking job. Now, sometimes the enemy just would not contact us, right? And we could try loads of little tips and tricks. One of them would be faking a casevac, like faking a casualty, because the enemy would tend to attack when you're at your most vulnerable. So if you have a casualty, you've got to treat that casualty, you've got to extract them, you've got to call a helicopter in if it's serious, like say they've had both their legs blown off or they've been shot somewhere specific that makes it very, very life-threatening. So if they see you've taken a casualty, these people don't play by the Geneva Convention. They're fucking in, right? So a lot of the time, I might throw a grenade, explode, get some screaming, just run a casevac drill so the Taliban will contact us. None of this shit works, right? So just in this example, I say none of this shit works, so they don't contact you. You could be patrolling for hours and hours and hours, and it's fucking exhausting, right? It's extremely hot, really fucking hot, and you're wearing boots. You got your combat fucking nappy on, so your dick don't get blown off. You've got helmet, glasses, like just face is just dripping. You got your body armor on, which weighs a fucking don't weigh a ton, right? But it's heavier than a fucking t-shirt. And then you got your Bergen on, right? Or your day sack with all your kit in it. So it's fucking hot and you're fucking tired and you've been walking non-stop. Now, there's points in the green zone where because it's farmland, right? They churf up the dirt, right? So it's strips of loose dirt where they can plant things. And I can remember being so fucking exhausted that when I was patrolling, I dragged my feet through like just picking your feet up high enough to step over this pile of broken dirt, of loose dirt, is just like, my brain don't really give a fuck that it's literally life and death. It just wants to drag its feet through it, right? Which is crazy because that's where they would plant IEDs, obviously, because it's loose dirt. One of the ground signs that you're told to look for is loose dirt because it's been disturbed. It's easy to bury stuff in loose dirt. It's not easy to bury stuff in hard, undisturbed. You know that nothing's been buried there, right? So it's really fucking dangerous. And it's dumb as fuck as well. But you see guys so fucking lit that they drag their feet through it, and you just sort of shut your eyes and just think, fucking, I hope there's no idea in this. I hope I'm not gonna get blown up, right? Drag your feet through it and just keep moving. That's crazy. That's crazy that you can have energy that fucking low, but you don't really think logically when you're in this repetitive, fucking dehydrated, exhausted state. Then suddenly you get contacted and you have all the energy in the world. It's not logical. You don't think, okay, cool, rounds are coming towards me. Let me get ready. Let me get some fucking energy. You don't do that, right? So why is that? Why can you suddenly you can't even lift your foot to avoid a fucking ID? You can't even bring yourself to lift your head up to fucking look around a little bit, like consistently, and then suddenly a round comes down and you're just it's like you've smashed two monsters, right? You dive to your belt buckle, you return fire, you find cover, you're doing whatever fire maneuver drills, you're looking, you think clearly, there's no part of you that's tired, no part of you at all. Why is that? And it's internal. And you can say things like adrenaline, that obviously plays a part of it, but we can take lessons from this and apply it to our real life because really it comes down to two massive things. And the first one I covered is management. The second is what we're talking about right now in this situation, that's mission, right? The way to increase energy internally is having an internal focus you're obsessed with. And I cover this with all the guys. We've got something called the 4-layer mechanism, which shows guys how to relentlessly get crazy clarity on a fucking goal and just run towards it aggressively, achieve goal after goal after goal of unshakable clarity. So they've always got a mission. It could be something you want to buy. It could be surface level, materialistic. It's like you want to buy your wife a new car, a new house. It could be something really fucking deep, like you want to help a certain amount of people, you want to achieve a certain thing, you want to hit a certain milestone, but it's a mission. And it's not a mission that you sort of might do a bit of in your free time. For most men, it's connected to their business, right? Or it'll be connected to the thing that causes you the most pain. If you finally plug in and run as your higher self, you will be unable to deal with certain things. When I switch guys on, when I do that deep self-activation, we wake them up and they see a fat guy. It's not like I've got to convince them to train and eat. It's easy for them. Like they look in the mirror, that is now non-negotiable. They're like, I am not looking like that. Like I couldn't, like it fucking hurts them. They'll do something about it. Their minimum bar is so much higher. Most guys, and everyone lives at their minimum standard, right? Everyone has this bar that they live at. We make that bar so fucking high and it's automated. As soon as you activate your deep self, your core, authentic, and most powerful self, that unstoppable magnetic leader where suddenly you see things clearly, you've got tons of energy, you know exactly what you need to do. And more importantly, the most important thing, you know who you are, you become undeniable, right? And you know what your mission is. So you move towards it aggressively. And if you see a man in the mirror that doesn't fit the picture you hold of yourself in your head because you now hold the vision of your higher self, you have to change it. So guys will pick a mission that is, if they're fat as fuck, out of shape, and they finally woken up, that's their mission. They'll be like, I'm getting ripped and jacked now. And they will find it so easy. They will have these late night cravings. I couldn't help it. I had these biscuits. It will be easy as fuck for them. They'll just be like, yeah, I can not have like I'm not drinking this weekend. Yeah, I'm on a fucking mission. Like, and they say it was they don't sit at the pub having a fucking lime and soda water, moping with their friends, like, I'd do anything for a beer. Oh, this is so fucking boring. Sulking about their lime and soda water. They're magnetic and they inspire other people because they are so focused. And you've had this before. You've had certain situations when you were plugged in and focused on this massive massive mission of yours, something you wanted to fucking do, and everything just fell away. Like all the normal resistance you get, maybe resistance from your wife, resistance from that inner voice, resistance from time available just seems to fall away. You know what you need to do. No one gets in the fucking way. You just do it. That's because you're magnetic. That's because you are lit up with your mission. So you need that. You need that fucking mission. Now, if you're not in terrible shape, and most guys, when they wake up, they want to eat right, they want to train, they want to sharpen their body because their bar has elevated. But their mission, if they don't fucking really hate what they see in the mirror, their mission will be business related. My missions are almost always business related, or at the moment we're renovating our house, so house related, right? That it's one singular mission, and for most guys, business related. So they plug into it like fucking crazy. And it's not like, yeah, no, I'll do it if I've got time. It's like, this is what they think about. This is what they wake up with in their mind. This is what they think about when they're in bed. This consumes them at a really fucking high level. Now, a lot of guys watching this will say, yeah, but when I get like this obsessive, I drift away from my family. Wrong. That is wrong. When you have woke up the best version of yourself, it becomes effortless to handle every single area. Your wife actually finds it mega attractive that you have this mission you're fixated on. The reason she may be resistant when you start doing this is because you've let her down so much in the past. You've been obsessed with a mission, with a goal, and you fail, or you've quit. Almost definitely you've just thrown in the towel or changed your mind. You've got shiny object syndrome. You can't fucking focus. So you're like, hey, love, this is what I'm doing. She might have given you some support initially, right? Then 3 days later, you're like, I don't know, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't think it'll work anyway. Or, oh no, I can't do that. Oh no, I'm not doing that anymore. Especially with fitness all the fucking time. Guys come on the program, they wake up their higher self. They want to run like a force of nature. When it comes to training, they're like, oh, well, my wife don't really want me going to the gym in the evenings, which is fine. We can make anything work for anyone's fucking lifestyle. You got to ask yourself why. Why would she be resistant? Maybe because over the last 10 years, every year you've said, I'm going to start getting in shape. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to start training. And you've just fallen off or been extremely uninspirational when you did it. That's really fucking common. Mega uninspirational. Like I said about that guy at the pub, sat there moping. Do you think his friends are like, oh, I want to do what he's doing? No. They sat there at a family meal with a Tupperware of chicken and broccoli going, oh, I can't wait for this diet to be over. I wish I was having what you were having. Oh, moping like fuck. Instead of strapping on that fucking apron, making the best family feast ever that perfectly fits in with your diet and your family loving you all eat together. That's inspirational leadership. You don't drain them, right? That's the difference. So if you spend 10 years just saying, yeah, I'll get in shape. Well, yeah, I'm going to do the business to this level. I'm going to break through this revenue barrier. I'm going to do this. And then you just quit. Why would you expect her support? You got to show her. And you do this by the 4-layer mechanism, right? Is essentially waking up your higher self and just mastering your body and your mind. This is what every guy should do. This is the minimum your family deserve. And then having a fixated desire, having an obsession with something, one singular thing. This is our mission, right? Then you think deeply, you have an accurate plan, not held back by limiting beliefs, right? Like, I can't do that. An accurate fucking plan. Like, okay, this logically will work, has to work, right? And then the fourth step, bold and certain action, moving very aggressively with absolute certainty, doesn't take you away from your family, right? They fucking love to see it. Because also you think so clearly because you're moving as your higher self, you understand that family stress drains you and makes you less effective in your mission. So you naturally make more of an effort with your partner. You're easier to talk to. You're not moody and snappy. You wake up in the morning, positive, high energy because you've got a fucking mission. And that's what this is all about. Elevating internal energy. And that's how you do it, by having a unshakable mission that you are fucking obsessed with. If you don't have one, you will not feel alive. It's simple as that. And if you're constantly crawling for coffee, for monsters, you need an afternoon nap, you need an early night. And then as soon as you sit in front of the TV and put some fucking mind-numbing shit on, suddenly you don't need to go to bed. You can sit there and blank out for 3 hours. That just shows you're not tired. You're completely distracted. Your internal state has nothing to fucking laser in on. Wake up the highest version of yourself in body and mind. Train and eat well. Simple. Look in the mirror, feel proud of what you see. Have an unshakable obsession that you're going to achieve. And then when you do achieve it, celebrate really fucking fast and then move on to the next one. That's how you create weird levels of boundless internal energy that never runs out and you never crash from. If you are serious about building the man your family deserves, your best self, building the body, mind, and man that cannot be stopped, there'll be some links below this video somewhere. You can apply for the program, you can grab the book, you can make moves towards building that guy. I hope this has been helpful. I'll speak to you soon.